To get started with the Alpine stitch, you'll need a couple of goodies. First, you need your hook. I use the tulip hook, and this is my absolute favorite. I have a set of these that I purchased on Amazon that has all sorts of sizes, and it's just lovely. And you'll also need yarn. What I'm using today is Red Heart Super Saver in the lilac purple. So let's get started. To begin, you'll start with your slip knot, and then you're going to chain in increments of 2. So as long as you have an even number of chains, we'll be able to start the Alpine stitch. So for demonstration purposes, I'm going to chain 20. So 1, 2, 3. Now when you get to the end of your chain, you're going to chain 1. So chain 1, and then you're going to single crochet all the way down this chain. And you should have an even number of stitches when you come to the end. So in the second chain from the hook, so this chain right here, not the first, but the second, you're going to insert your hook, draw up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through. So we'll do that one more time. Insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops. So you're going to do this all the way across, and I will meet you at the end. I'm coming to the end of the single crochets in my chain, and I now have 20 single crochets. Now when you have this, you're going to turn your work and chain 2. Now this chain 2 is going to count as your first double crochet, and you're going to double crochet all the way across. And this will start the right side of your work. So we're going to skip this right here, and we're going to work into this second single crochet. So we're going to yarn over, insert the hook into that stitch, pull up a loop, and you'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 more. And we're going to do that one more time, where we'll yarn over, insert the hook, pull up a loop, draw through 2, draw through 2 more. And you're going to do this all the way across, and I will meet you at the end. Coming to the end of my double crochet row, you want to be sure to get that last one in that final stitch. So I'm going to insert my hook. It's a little finicky sometimes. I'm going to drop a loop, yarn over and draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2 more. And this is what it should be looking like. Now we're going to turn the work and chain 1. Now this chain 1 does not count as your stitch. So because of that, you're going to work in this first stitch right here. And it's just going to be a single crochet. So you insert your hook, draw up a loop, draw through 2. And you're going to single crochet in the next stitch. And you're going to single crochet all the way down. And once we finish this row, we'll get to start the exciting parts of the Alpine stitch. I will meet you at the end of this row. I'm coming to the end of my single crochets. And one thing that you want to make sure not to miss is this chain 2 here. You want to single crochet in the top of that chain 2 from your previous row. So I'm going to insert my hook, draw up a loop. Now I have 2 on the hook, and draw through those 2. Then you're going to turn the work and chain 2. Now this is where it starts getting fun. You're going to start working, half of your stitches are down here around the posts, the other half will be up here in the single crochets, and we're going to be alternating stitches. So the first one to start with is going to be a front post double crochet. So you're going to work around this post, and the way you do a front post double crochet is you yarn over, insert your hook, and go around that post so it's laying on top of your hook. Then you're going to yarn over and draw up a loop, and you can pull your loop up a little bit so that it reaches the height of this. You'll yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2. Now the next step is you're going to do a double crochet in the single crochet row. But because you worked that front post, we're going to skip this stitch back here. I'll move my yarn so you can see it better. So this stitch right here, you already worked down here. So we're going to move to the next one, and that's where you're going to do a double crochet. And I find that by flipping my work so that I can see it better, makes it just a little bit easier. So I'm going to insert my hook, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2 more. Now because you worked this stitch, which is above this post, you're going to skip that post and work into the next one. So you'll do a front post double crochet, and then you're going to skip this one, work in the next. And you're just going to alternate your stitches throughout this row. We'll do a front post, and we'll skip this one, do a double, and you're going to do this all the way down, and I will meet you at the end. I'm coming to the end of our row where we're doing the front post and then the double. So I just did a front post, I'm going to skip, do a double, and then when you come to the end, you'll find that there's these 2 posts. Now you're not going to do a front post around this one because you just worked it with a double on top, and you're not going to do a front post around this one. Instead, what you're going to do is in that final single crochet, you're just going to work a double crochet. Then you're going to turn your work, and you're going to chain 1. I'm going to turn this around so you can see how it looks. So you'll start getting a little bit of a texture. I love the texture of this stitch. And this is where we're going to begin our repeats. So the wrong side is the back, and that's where you start seeing, you can see where the double crochets are. You don't really see the front post too much. And on this wrong side, all you're going to do is single crochet in each of your stitches across. And you're going to work your single crochet in this first stitch, because remember, this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So you'll work a single, do 1 in the next one, and you're just going to single crochet across this row. And I will meet you at the end. I'm coming to the end of the single crochet row. And remember, there's that chain 2. You want to be sure to work in the top of that for that final single crochet. And then you will turn your work. And this is what we have so far. You can see this nice little single crochet row. And you're actually not going to see it very much once your stitch starts coming along, because it works as more of a background stabilizing type of stitch. So let me show you. So now that you've turned your work, you're going to chain 2. And this is always going to be the right side of your work. Now because you chained the 2, that counts as your stitch, but down here you've already worked a front post, and we're not going to work a front post around one that we've already created. So you're going to double crochet in that second stitch. So 1, 2. So let's double crochet. And now you're going to work a front post double crochet around this one. So you'll insert around and be sure to get under this loop. And you'll work around, pull it up, and do your double. Now you're going to still skip this stitch right here, and you're going to work a double in the next one. And then you're going to keep alternating. So now that you've worked that double that's above this front post, you're going to do a front post around the next double crochet. So working under that loop and around, pull it up. There's your front post double. You're going to skip, work a double. So continue down this row, alternating front post double crochets and double crochets. I will meet you at the end. I'm coming up to the end of my row. Now I'm going to work a front post double crochet around this double crochet that's in between the last one and the last front post from 2 rows down. So I'm going to insert my hook, do my front post double, And I'm going to skip that last one, and in this final single crochet I'm going to work a double crochet. Then we're going to turn the work, chain 1. Now we're back to the back, and what you do on the back is the same as the last time. You're just going to single crochet along that row. So I'm going to turn this so that you can see a little bit more of where we're at. Now you're starting to see the texture taking place. Now if you decide that you'd like to change color as you're working on this, you always want to do that after your double crochet row. So your next row of single crochet, if you're changing color, would be your new color. And that just helps with the transition, so it looks like the front posts are kind of dripping in a little bit with the new color, and it's just picking it up. It looks really nice that way. Got a couple patterns in the making that utilize this stitch, and you'll be able to see that when those get published. But let's move on and start our next row. So we have our 1 chain. We're going to work that single in that first stitch, and then we're going to single across this row. And I will meet you at the end. I just came to the end of my single crochet row. So now you're going to turn the work and you're going to chain 2. Now this next row is going to feel very familiar because you're doing the same thing as what you did down here on this row. So you're going to begin with a front post double crochet around the posts that were 2 rows down. So you're going to start with your front post on this first double crochet. Then you will work a regular double crochet up here in your single crochet round. Then you work your front post double crochet here. And all you'll really be doing is just alternating as your piece grows. So you'll work this row for here, and then you'll repeat the single crochet on the back, and then you'll work with this row after that. A good thing to remember is that your back side will always be single crochet. Your front side, you're always going to be working with the posts. And your posts will tell you which row you're on. So when you come across a row where the first one is a double crochet, and I'm referring to this as the first post because these I don't really take into account because it's already your chain 2. So this always tells me where I'm at on that row. So I'll either start with this one as a front post, or I'll start with this one when it's down here and it's actually a double crochet. I hope that makes sense for you. Sometimes it's easier to show, but we'll start this row with a front post double crochet around that post. We'll skip this and then we'll work into the next stitch with a double crochet. Now we'll do the front post around this one, front post double crochet. We'll skip it and work a double. And you just work this row alternating front post double crochets to double crochets. I'm coming to the end of the front post double crochet and the double crochet row. I'm going to work my last front post. I'm going to skip one, do the double crochet. And I'm going to take note not to forget this last one and work 1 double crochet in that single crochet. And now you can start seeing that it's really taking shape and you can feel this lovely texture that it has. So I'm now going to turn the work. I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to single crochet across. And I'm going to continue repeating these rows. And I will show you the final piece when it comes up to a nice bigger swatch so that you can really see how this comes together. So here we have a nice size swatch where you can see the Alpine stitch. And it's interesting where you can see these lovely textures, and it's just a lovely, lovely stitch from front and back. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you did, please subscribe to my newsletter on my website at www.handmadebystacyj.com. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Facebook or Instagram. I'm all over the place. So I really do hope you found this helpful though, and there will be more tutorials released. My goal this year is to release at least one per week, so there should be all sorts of fun stuff for you to try out, to learn. And if you have any friends that are learning how to crochet, please feel free to send them my way. Have a great day and happy crocheting!